Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations with Marvelous and Brando. But before I introduce my very special guests, who are no strangers to this platform, let me just give a quick recap for you guys that are just barely tapping in and haven't seen our last couple of shows. Our last couple of shows, we had Nina Rose on episode 347 on Rhodium Radio. Okay, before that, we had MC Wicks and his homeboy Beardo, not to be confused with Weirdo, on Rhodium After Dark. Before that, we had Cervantes Enterprise. People always ask, is Cervantes really an enterprise? Yes, I wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't. Okay. Other than that, before that, we had Too Dank, a female West Coast artist out of San Diego. So if you guys haven't tapped in and checked those out, make sure you guys check those out. Before that, we also had episode 345 on Rhodium Radio with B3 out of Bakersfield. And before that, we had on Rhodium After Dark, Ladis from Texas, where we actually had one of our members, one of our subscribers, actually come in and kick some knowledge. So make sure to definitely check those out. Other than that, I want to thank everybody in the live chat. I want to thank everybody who decided not to be on the live chat, everybody who liked, comment, subscribed, unsubscribed, disliked. It doesn't matter. You guys are still watching. And all you podcasters with fake profiles who are watching us right now, much love and respect to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Other than that, I'm going to introduce from my left a person that's no stranger to Rhodium Radio. Brando, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing pretty good. And to my right, I have Marvelous Inc., a.k.a. just Marvelous. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for having me.
You know what? I'm glad you guys are here. People have been asking me to try to get you guys together. I know it's hard. We all have different types of schedules, but I'm glad we can make it happen. And I wanted to set the scene up a little bit different to kind of make it look like more of an intimate conversation where we can help educate or bless someone with some knowledge and wisdom, or at least some good understanding what we're going to be talking about. But I do want to say this, and what we have always said before, Marvelous, and I repeatedly say this: you guys do not have to believe what we say. Please do your own research.
Yes.
Stop going in the comments and just saying you guys are crazy, you guys don't know what the hell you guys are talking about, and yet you never even researched it. Okay?
Exactly.
So just look into it. That's what we encourage you to do. As a matter of fact, I'll even take it a step further. Don't even believe us. Just research it for yourself. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. We will eventually get to the phone call. So if you have anything to say, go ahead and call in and ask. So other than that, there's a couple of topics that I want to bring up that one of them, both of you guys believe in, and I kind of wanted to touch on it. And Marvelous has always touched on it. He's been ridiculed. He's been criticized. He's been laughed at. You know, they made videos about him. See, you know about it until somebody makes a video about you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had videos and I've had songs.
It means you're doing something right, Marvelous.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I want to bring up, one of my first topics is the flat earth. Okay. Now, Brando, for the record, do you believe in the flat earth?
Yes, I do.
Marvelous, for the record, for the people that are barely tapping in and have never heard you speak, do you believe in the flat earth?
Yes.
Okay. Tony A, for the record, I'm not going to say I don't because I never researched it. Okay. But I'm not going to criticize you or talk bad about you or say you guys are off your guys' rocker, but I want to talk about it. So, Brando, beginning with you, let the public know, how long ago was it that you can say I'm a believer in the flat earth, and what was it that made you believe?
About 3.5 years. That's how long I've, funded some belief in the geocentric model, is what they call it, right. Geocentric model, aka flat Earth. And it was just being exposed to information. And at first, because at that time I was still believing in aliens and things like that. So having a closed dome, it kind of just contradicted what I was already like researching and looking into. But what really won me over was, and I know the Bible interests you. I saw that you have some Bible podcasts as well.
Yes.
And it was the Bible. So for example, in Genesis 1:7, it says, "And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so." Okay? So that's telling us that there's he's divided everything, and that there's waters above us.
Above us and under us.
And so the waters above us was the hardest thing for me to wrap my head around as it pertained to the firmament, because I'm like, how in the hell we have water above us?
Yeah.
Right? So if you go to Psalm 148, verse 4, King David says, praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters that be above the heavens. So right there, he's already indicating that there's waters above us. Okay. And then again, in Psalm 19:1, he says, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So there's these, and there's more. I mean, there's the earth is a circle, Isaiah 40:22, made with the compass, Proverbs 8:27, laid upon a face, Genesis 1:2, etc. The waters above is Genesis 1:7, 148:6, what I just shared. So there's all these scriptures that lend credence to this idea that we live in a firmament. So for me, it was, okay, there's things adding up. And I think the Bible is profound. I mean, I think it's fascinating. So
same here.
So that was the clincher. That took me over the top.
Was there somebody that told you about it and then you just decided to look into it? Or was this just something you might have overheard in a YouTube video?
No, I hang out in Telegram, and I hang out in a chat, and there's just a bunch of researchers, and they started sharing information. I was like, oh man, like, that's a mind blower, like flat. And then I just started digging into it and looking up more research and videos and things like that.
It is a definite mind blower. Now, Marvelous, now let me ask you, you've been here now over 2 years now since our first, conversation here. But I wanted to ask you, and once again, for the people that might be hearing you for the first time, what was it, or how long, number one, has it been since you've believed in the flat earth? And what was it that made you look into it? Was it somebody that told you something? Is something you saw, something you read? Like, how did you get introduced to the idea of a flat earth?
Well, most of the stuff that I've man, how do I say it? Most of the stuff that I've come to really finding out to be factual are some of the things that I went against the hardest, bro. So when I heard like the flat earth, I was like, get out of here, homie. I don't want to hear about it. It's dumb. And I went against this person so hard, bro, that I ended up waking myself up, like I really I was dumb, homie. Like I thought I did know, and everything from the Bible to documents, to NASA admitting they only go on lower Earth orbit. A big thing that I learned that helped me out a lot was learning about refraction, what refraction is, because one of the biggest things when you're dealing with the masses is they've indoctrinated you for such a long time, since elementary school, that everybody believes that the sun goes down, or we're going around the sun, but essentially I'm talking about a sunset.
Right.
People believe in a sunset. So that's a big deal if you're able to break down the sunset and that it doesn't set at all. But refraction and the water vapor in the air is making it look like it's going down, because water bends and it magnifies that object. So when the sun is bigger or the moon is bigger, it's because there's more water vapor in the air. So you can do a simple experiment at home by getting a number 2 pencil and a glass of water, and you stick the pencil in the water and you look at what it does. It'll bend that pencil and it'll make it it'll magnify it. Now the less water vapor in the air, the moon's gonna look like it's further away, or the sun's gonna look like it's further away. But it's all studying, bro. You gotta actually get down and after you're done reading, you need to actually do the experiment.
Right.
Yeah. How long did it take to convince you after looking into it? Was it a couple of months, a couple of weeks, before you can actually say, okay, damn, I guess I have to believe it? Or
probably like a couple months for me to like commit to it. Yeah. Okay. And he's absolutely right. The sun doesn't set. It just leaves your line of sight. And just like refraction. Why do you think our rainbows go like that? The ellipse. It's in the shape of, it's mimicking the dome on top of us.
Okay. Now, why, now that you guys found out all these facts, why is it so hard to believe that the earth is flat? Because I would think, and I believe I asked you this one question on After Dark. I said, so if it is a flat earth, then there is an intelligent designer who created that flat earth and created us to be here on this flat earth.
Right.
Now, Marvelous, why do people look at you guys crazy because you guys believe that the earth is flat? Why would they say you guys are crazy?
Well, me, because obviously the way I look, bro, you know?
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't believe me. I would be like, man, that fucking stupid ass cholo, get out of here, homie. You don't know nothing. You know?
Right. Okay.
He actually looks like he's like does some shit. He's smart, you know?
Like he went to school,
he went to
huh?
college or something.
It's because they've indoctrinated everybody.
Yeah.
So how are we going to break that programming? We're the black sheep.
Yeah.
We're not popular thought. We're going against the grain. And so it's easier. People don't like to be alone by themselves in their way of thinking. They like to be a part of the herd.
And we don't want to be at this age and barely finding out something. You know, it's like, fuck, I'm this age and I'm barely finding out. How dumb do I look?
Yeah. Okay. Now, you know how sometimes when there's an agenda they want to push, like they'll get, like I'll use for an example. Magic Johnson, they used him, I believe. I don't think he ever had HIV. I believe they used him to push that HIV so that people can look at him because he was a basketball hero, and maybe it'll encourage people to come forward so we can at least have a count of how many people actually have this shit. Okay. Now, have they tried to, I guess, push an agenda, try to get a celebrity to push this flat earth belief on anyone, or is that something they're trying to hide?
I haven't heard anybody
Like any
famous
celebrities?
advocating. I haven't heard a celebrity advocating for flat earth, not in my experiences.
I haven't heard nothing either.
No. But
I've heard Jim Carrey allude to he was on a Jay Leno interview, and he alluded to how the moon landing was fake. But he adds humor to it. Like, and these people are buying it.
There's some, though, like Shaquille O'Neal has come out. He's a Mason. He just came out and said the earth is flat.
Oh, that's right. He did,
Yeah.
huh?
okay, yeah, I had never heard of that
So
because
that might be a limited hangout operation. So a limited hangout operation is a tactic that the CIA or the media uses. So if there's a conversation happening and it's starting to gain momentum and there's nothing they can do to really stop it, they'll send someone in to try to be the face of that topic and then control the situation. So it's controlled opposition, basically. So then they're controlling the floodgates or saying what's yay and what's nay in regards to that subject. It's called a limited hangout operation. You can Google it or DuckDuckGo, and it pops up.
and now, is there anybody trying to stop this belief from going out, or is it just not enough people? Maybe too lazy to do their own research? Like, what do you think it is? Because obviously, if they're just too lazy to do the research, and they grew up indoctrination from school that the earth is round, and that's what they saw is the globe. You know, we all spin that shit.
Right.
You know, but to think now that it's just flat, it really makes you guys look like you guys are cuckoo.
Right.
You know, so that's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm like, so are they trying to stop people from believing that? And if people still believe in a round earth, in your guys, is that wrong still?
You want to answer that first?
It's not accurate, in my opinion. I mean,
Okay.
a globe is not accurate. And I think I've said this before, but when we're cozy inside of an enclosed firmament and we're not spinning on a rock around the sun and there's not all these universes and all of these other things,
Right.
I think it brings you closer to who men call God or who I call divine presence. He's just right there. In the Bible, he says his throne sits on top of the firmament. I think there's multiple reasons why they want to keep us from learning about the firmament.
Okay.
And, NASA and all these secret space programs, look how much taxpayer money they're laundering from that stuff. And it's funding all of their other black ops that they run on us, psychological operation campaigns, etc. So, and again, it just goes, it's at one point in time, they did believe in a geocentric model. But then as things progressed, they turned it into the heliocentric model. And that came from the Vatican, if memory serves me correct. And it actually has to do, and it coincides or aligns with sun god worship. And I've kind of touched on that a little bit before. But the sun being the center of the universe because they're so committed to their sun god worship religion.
Okay. Marvelous. You care to add anything to that?
Well, we might have it. I mean, we're on the same page, but for the sun, sun worship is the black sun that they worship in the hollow earth.
Okay.
So that's the worshiping that goes on with that. No disrespect, bro.
No,
Like,
no,
you have
this
your
is
own
great.
opinion.
No, I love it.
But yeah, so it's the same, bro. Like they talk about our cultura and sacrificing to the sun. It was the black sun,
Okay.
not the sun. That sun.
Okay, now when you say the black sun, could that be confused or could that be described as an eclipse?
Well, they could, but see, a lot of stuff is backwards, bro. Like Superman and Bizarro. So black is really light. Like we have things backwards, bro. Even the map, it's all upside down. You know, continents are bigger than other continents. Like everything that they do, like as far as biblically, is backwards to disrespect the Most High. So when they have an indigenous person put on a dress, or they have them do makeup, or they have them, doing certain rituals that they don't even know about, bro. They're manifesting that energy. It's all about manifestation with them. That's it, ritual and manifestation. Okay. If they don't have the manifestation, they're not going to complete their ritual or open the portal or whatever they're trying to do, bro. Whether it's call up on an entity, whether it's to sacrifice to the black sun or any of the other demigods that they have, it's all about manifestation, bro.
Okay.
I believe the Nazi symbol symbolizes black sun or something similar to it, if I'm not mistaken. And to my understanding, I think that the black sun is what sits underneath, right?
Yeah, in the hollow earth.
In the hollow earth, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the movie I was talking about, I don't think it's called Black Panther. What's the new one? Do you know the new movie, Black Panther? It's called something else.
No.
I guess it was part 2 of Black Panther, right?
Yeah, they show you. And when they're going down to Aslan, they're showing you the pyramid, and they show you the eclipse sun.
Oh, I've never seen that one. Was that one pretty interesting?
Yeah, it's pretty dope, bro. Because they show you the reality of it. Like, they show you the certain ethnicities or our cultura. They show you the second coming, the black sun. What else? And also they show about them trying to get this energy, this mineral. They're in search for this mineral that only these 2 tribes have, and it's one of them's actually the Maya. What will be the Maya, and then the other one will be considered African. But reality, they're both the same indigenous tribe, bro, and they're literally showing you the truth.
Wow, interesting. I guess I'm gonna have to look that one up. Have you seen that movie?
I have Black Panther Part 2.
Yeah, it was Part 2. Okay.
No.
They called it something else.
It's called, I forgot the name of it.
Alex, can you look it up when you get a chance? The Part 2. Now let me ask both of you this, because we can go on and on about the flat Earth, and people are not going to believe it, and people are probably just not going to care. People are just going to probably talk about it. But if you've never done your research, you know what? They don't even talk about it. Don't even bring it up. We just encourage you to do your research, whether you believe it or not. Now, as far as the firmament, okay. Now, I want to say this when it comes to the Bible, because there are many people that want to discredit the Bible. The Bible's not true. That's what they say. The Bible's not true. The Bible's been rewritten. I like to say it's been retranslated, okay? Retranslated to break it down. Like, let me just give you a couple of translations. You have 1611 King James. You have the New King James. You have the Amplified. You have the New American Standard. You have the New International. A lot of them I don't approve. Mm-hmm. A lot of them, but because they take a lot of stuff out and they add stuff in. But my thing is, for the people that say that the Bible's not true, don't try to use the Bible when you want to prove a point.
Right.
Because they'll say it's not true, but in the Bible it says that. Look at it, it says that right there. And I'm like, you just said that shit is not true.
Right.
Okay. Now, if the Bible's true, then the story of Noah is true. And the reason why I bring that up, because I like to believe that the story of Noah actually brought up a firmament, because it said that when it rained, water came from above and it came from underneath, to prove firmament from
above
and underneath.
Below.
So it actually, you were not going to escape.
Right.
So
I go ahead. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead and talk about, let's go ahead and open this up about the firmament now, because earlier you sent me a video of missiles going up.
An amateur rocket scientist.
So please elaborate on that.
So the video I sent Tony is entitled "Rocket Hits the Dome," and it's amateur rocket, rocket engineers, rocket scientists, and they launch this rocket, and it goes up, and has a camera on it, and you can see it going through the clouds, and then all of a sudden it just stops, and it kind of like just spin, and you can hear it hitting something. You know what I mean? Okay. But just to touch base, like what you said about the Bible, I believe when you read the Bible, especially when you're reading the King James Version, you need a Strong's Concordance.
Absolutely.
Because you have to look up those words.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of mistranslations.
Yes.
And there's mistranslations and what's the other word? When mistranslations and
Interpretations.
Well, there's misinterpretations, but it's called
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me, but it's when they just change the word.
Right.
Period. It's so like for the Bible of 1611.
Right.
The Bible prior to 1611 named Jesus as Yahushua. In 1611, they changed it to Isus, which is Greek.
Yes.
And then we get Jesus from the word Isus.
Correct.
So what happened?
Right.
I don't claim to know the answer, but something happened.
Right.
And there's a lot of that happens with the Bible. So you need that Strong's Concordance
And you know
to guide
what?
you.
I still have my Strong's Concordance today. You know, for those of you guys don't know, that was a book. You know, you turn the pages, you flip the pages, because today everybody just wants to use this. You know, and it's cool. You can find a Strong's Concordance, probably an app, you know.
I have it. There's King James Bible Online.
Okay.
So when you look up the verse, you scroll down, and then you could go to each individual word, click on it, and it'll take you
do
to
a
like
word
3
study.
different concordances.
Like the Blue Letter Bible.
Right. And the word I was looking for was transliteration.
Transliteration.
So there's mistranslations, misinterpretations, obviously, and
Transliteration.
and transliteration, where they just take a word and. So, for example, the word Christ in the old Greek original meaning meant oil. Christos.
Yeah.
But they took that word from the Greek when they transferred the Bible and when they translated the Bible into Latin, changed it to Christus. That's that's transliteration.
Yes.
Because they took something that was like oil and then turned it into a proper noun into the word Christ. So when we're reading the word Christ, we're thinking of the figure. But in the original text, it meant oil.
See, and I'm glad you said that, because when I think of oil, I think of anointed oil.
And that's what it's alluding to.
The anointed one.
Where you get the Crisco.
And
There you
Crisco
go.
oil. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's the guy I listened to. Yeah, he brought up Crisco too. Crisco oil. It's all play on words.
Yeah. Okay. So now the firmament.
Yeah, my bad.
Marvelous. You were talking about for people to understand it, even if we have to, and I say this respectfully, dumb it down. So are you saying that there's a ceiling on top of us?
Of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
a dome, if you will.
Can you
People
kind
have a
of,
hard time with the flat with the flat Earth because of the verbiage, bro. Flat. You have a flat chest. You think of something square and flat, bro. So everybody like, oh, I'm gonna walk off the flat Earth. Like it's automatically a square.
so maybe is the word flat the wrong word to this?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's misleading.
Yeah,
it's
the same thing
misleading.
as calling a black man black. He's not black. He's brown.
Right. Correct. You're right.
Yeah, it's a little misleading
Okay.
when you refer to it as flat.
So are you familiar with those missiles that are going up and they,
Yeah. There's people buying their own balloons, bro. They buy those big industrial balloons that they have for the car dealerships, and they send them up with a GoPro, like a camera, and you could hear it exactly like he said. It bounces, boom, boom, and then you just hear. One of the videos, they say, I don't know, but they say you could hear water even, like, but I don't know about all that, you know, like.
Okay.
I have a video where it's a real rocket, and it goes up and then it starts hitting the top of the dome, and it looks exactly how like a speedboat, you know, when a speedboat goes through a lake and you see like the ripples and the waves coming
Right.
after it. That's exactly what was happening up in the sky, and it was bouncing off of it, and pieces were breaking off the rocket and stuff like that. But you could see it; it's like skimming water.
Okay.
And the Bible says it was pounded out like a shield, like pounded out like metal. And there's many verses that say how the Creator expanded the heavens. So it all lends credence to this dome that we're talking about. And like I mentioned in the podcast before, they've tried penetrating it via Operation Fishbowl, and it proved unsuccessful. It was a failure.
So, Marvelous, is it safe to say now then, if there is a firmament up there, is it safe to say that we've never gone to the moon?
Oh, of course, bro. Like, we've never been on the moon. You can't. The moon is plasma. The sun is carbon.
That's what we were just talking about outside. I told you it was plasma. Like, well, I didn't use the word plasma, but you hit it right on the head. I said it was like a mirror. But, yeah, it's plasma.
So why would they lie?
They're not actually lying. They actually tell you the truth. You're lying to yourself.
Okay, so say I'm a guy off the street and I ask you, how am I lying to myself? I just want to know. Like Like,
Well, let me tell you the first lie. You believe in the Bible?
correct.
So the Most High tells you that the earth is flat, but you're still questioning it.
Touche.
We all go on our feelings, bro. We're all in our feelings. You're reading the Bible, and you're right there in your feelings about what you think God is telling you. But if you go to the precept, he ain't even talking about that shit. Go to the precept. It tells you to go to the precept. Give you understanding, bro. Like, we're all reading this book, and nobody has any understanding because nobody knows the definition of the word. Nobody's taking the time to look it up. Everybody's arguing with everybody how smart they are, and nobody knows shit.
They're not reading the Bible on their own.
Retarded.
They're going to the church and listening
those
to
are
what the
ones that
pastor says.
They got so much advice for you. Oh, Tony, you know what you should do with your show? You know what you should do with your life, brother? Let me tell you. John 3:16 says, so God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. But literally, they don't know what the world means. Well, the world ain't the earth.
And give you 10%.
Yeah, give me 10% of your money. No, it's 10% of your spirit.
Okay. So we've never gone to the moon.
Ever.
No.
Brando, I'm asking you right now, live on Conversation with Marvelous and Brando. We've never gone to the moon.
No.
So why would they lie to us? Like, again, I'm asking questions not for Tony, but as a fan. You know, as a fan sitting here, and I don't know, so I kind of want to like.
I think what kind of sparked it was the Soviet Union back in the day announcing that they were making moves to go to the moon. So we can't let them look better than us.
Oh.
So I think it started off in that aspect, you know, the race to the moon.
Right.
But they've even recovered like documents from the Russian government, like old documents from the 60s, where they identify that it's the firmament. And they're like,
so that means the Russians, if they said they went, then they lied too.
they lied too.
Well, all of them lied.
All of them
Because
lied.
they're all under the same
They're all in the
corrupt-
same club.
Yeah.
They're liars and deceivers. And then the money is just another aspect.
You know, they just recently made a movie.
Everything's a lie in upside down world. We live in upside down. We're basically like Alice in Wonderland.
They just recently made a movie where they're talking about we need to make a movie that we went to the moon. Did you guys see that?
I did. I went to go see it called Take Me to the Moon.
That one. Can you kind of tell us about it? I've never seen it. Have you heard about it?
Scarlett Johansson and
Wasn't it Shannon Tatum or something?
Channing Tatum.
That
yeah.
guy.
So I went to go see it just out of curiosity.
Okay.
And they made it. They framed it kind of like in a comedy, but it was about them producing the moon landing in a soundstage.
Yeah.
Okay, but they kind of, and I was like, oh wow, they're really like saying this stuff. But at the very end, they throw the trickery at the very end and made it appear like they really were on the moon. But the whole thing was about, it's a contingency plan because the government, per the movie, the government, if something goes wrong, we can't have that on national television. You know what I mean? That's going to make us look foolish. So let's make sure we have something prepared that, you know, we could show in the media.
Right.
And that was the rationale. That was their reasoning in the movie, which kind of would make sense in real life. But then again, they know they weren't going to the moon. How did Nixon get a landline to
talk
be
to them
able
over
to
there.
talk to the people on the moon? I mean, maybe they went through the NASA command center and something like that. I don't, but it just seems a little unbelievable. But yeah.
Marvelous, was there anything that stood out to you watching the moon landing film that you could point out and say, okay, that right there was fake? You could see that was fake. Who's filming them, or why is that shadow there? Was there anything that you've seen?
Yeah,
far?
like
Yeah.
the original footage. I have all the original footage, bro, on my other phone. I don't know. Did I show you? No.
No. What was it about?
It looks like them hanging from a damn a cable, bro. Like they're literally swinging. There's no gravity. Like the flag is blowing. And then the pictures that came out, you know, the exact same spot is in Arizona. That they took pictures with. There's pictures of them with their gear, their helmets off, and there's no oxygen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just a bunch of shit, you know.
Yeah, the flags waving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's and those guys were supposed to have 1/6 goes back to the six too.
Yeah.
1/6 of their body weight.
Yeah.
So if you're 180 pounds, you're going to weigh 30 pounds on the moon, which
then-
means when they jump, they should have been able to leap.
Yeah.
Because you're only, and you still have your same strength, but you're only 30 pounds.
See, I didn't know that.
Their interviews, bro. You got one astronaut saying, "Oh, you could see amazing stars everywhere. You know, you could see all this and that." And then the other astronaut says they didn't see shit. Then you got Buzz Aldrin saying that, you know, you think you saw that, but you didn't see that.
What got me was the craft that leaves the moon after they're done. It looks like little sparklers and fireworks shooting out of the exhaust. It looks like it's just like a little.
And then you got the shuttle leaving the moon, right?
Right. Who's filming it?
Yeah, who's filming it?
Who's filming it? Who stayed back on the moon to film it?
Who filmed them come in?
They actually. That's how
dumb
dumb people are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who stood back? And I have the video too. I could show you after. But who stood back to look at to film that?
Imagine somebody in Nebraska, some lady. Oh my God, Martha! Call Martha! We landed on the moon.
Fuck. I never thought
Like
about
when
that
their
part.
little moon rover, when their little moon
Imagine
rover
that
kind of
shit.
skids, their moon rover kind of skids.
Yeah.
That dust on the moon should have been floating
Yeah.
high because there's 6% gravity compared to Earth. I didn't see any of that. It just looked like desert dust.
Okay,
Like
now
what he said, I think it might have been Sedona that they filmed it in. I could be wrong though.
last question about the firmament before we move on, because I want to switch gears up a little bit. As far as the firmament, as far as the sky, if you will, is that the moon that I showed you outside? Is the moon real?
I agree with Marvelous. I believe it's plasma. So it's real. Yeah, it's real. But is it what we've been taught? No, like a solid mass
Right.
sphere?
Uh-huh.
No,
Okay.
not in my opinion. And the sun and the moon are inside the firmament.
Yeah.
They're inside. They're not on the other side of the dome.
They actually create an infinity sign, actually.
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
Okay.
But the planets are outside of the firmament.
Yeah, the luminaries.
So that's why they call them wandering stars. The Greeks used to, well, not even the Greeks, way back in antiquity, they called them wandering stars. So when I was about 25 years old, I got my grandparents, they bought, because I was into it, you know what I mean? They bought me this telescope. I'm like, oh, great.
I love
And
telescopes.
and I had my computer that, you plug it in and it would take you to the constellations and everything. Oh, this is going to be amazing. So when you go to look like at a planet Saturn, like a planet Saturn, you're going to want to see what you saw, what NASA shows, which is a perfect sphere with the rings. You don't see that. You see a bunch of blurry shit, and they move.
Yeah.
They move. That's why they're called wandering stars. And the reason why it's blurry is because it's on the other side of those waters.
You can see it, the reflection of water.
All those pictures, and NASA will admit it, are computer generated. All those pictures that they show us of the planets are computer generated. And there's people that have done contrast and comparisons, and it doesn't change.
You know, when I was a kid, my dad, he taught me a lot of things, bro. And that's one of the things why I miss my dad, whether it was music, whether it was, theater, comedy. But one thing that he also had was nice telescopes. And many times he would take me, my younger brother, on the roof of our house and a nice it was still slanted, but it was flat enough where he could set up the telescope, and he would sit up and drink his beer, and I would always be looking, and I always saw it looked like boiling water.
Right.
Okay. And I said, what is that? And he goes, now my dad probably didn't know, but I'm gonna tell you what he told me. Oh, that's Venus. And I said, oh, okay. But it looked like the picture Venus. So like if you were to take it to a school book and look at it and say that's Venus, that's but it looked to me like boiling water.
Blurry?
Yes, it was blurry.
Yeah, it wasn't like that perfect sphere.
No, it wasn't like that.
Right.
So now, Marvelous, if you were to buy yourself a nice telescope and have your children look at it and look at it, what they're seeing, is it real?
What they're seeing as far as what?
Like, for an example, if you bought a telescope
Yeah.
and you're pointing it at something shining in the sky, and your son looks in it and says, Dad, what is that? Can you tell him, like, is that a star? Is that another planet? Or
Oh yeah, according to the 9. Well, there's 9 wandering stars. Okay.
Okay.
But the other ones are called luminaries. They're called
Okay.
like watchers in the Bible.
Okay.
So you would literally have to know the telescope that you're using, because all the new ones are chipped. So when you do,
Oh, wow.
if you get it's exactly like the phone app, bro. If you download like a stargazer app or whatever to look at the stars or the constellation app, and you look and you point it in that direction, it's going to show you an image of that planet, a rendering, right? It's a CGI rendering, bro. So it's the same thing with the telescope. All the new ones since 2000, or actually the late 90s and up, are chipped, bro. So when you aim that at that in that direction of that planet, you'll see a CGI image. You're not gonna see what you would see if you were to look at a real telescope, and you'll see the real image of what it looks to be water, the reflection of water.
Okay. Anything you care to add to that before we change it up?
No.
If you get a telescope, my bad, Tony. If you get a telescope, make sure it doesn't have no chip. No chip. An original telescope.
Okay. I want to talk about you. You have been the only one in a past guest a while ago. I'm not sure if me and Marvelous have ever touched on this, and maybe we have. I first heard of this when Hillary Clinton was running, I believe, and it was called Pizzagate. Okay. I don't know if you want to kick this off, Marvelous.
No, go for it. Yeah. Let me.
Okay. Pizzagate. What for the people that may not know what that is, because we're not talking about Domino's or Pizza Hut.
Right.
Okay. What is Pizzagate?
Okay, so yeah, you had posed this question to me before, and then there was a question posed to Marvelous like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I think we gave you the best explanation that we could, just shooting off the cuff.
Right.
But I came prepared this time.
Okay.
Okay. So Pizzagate started with the WikiLeaks dump, and WikiLeaks was owned by Julian Assange. Okay. And it was May 14th, 2009, and it was a company, like a third party called Straffers. And they started, WikiLeaks got a hold of these documents and dumped it, okay? And there was a bunch of emails with Hillary Clinton corresponding with Tony Podesta, etc. Now, that's where they started using these words that started raising. So out of 2,060 total emails in the first Podesta collection, there are 149 instances of pizza, 73 instances of hot dog being used, 85 of cheese, 78 of pasta, 41 of sauce, 84 of ice cream, and 47 of walnut. Okay,
so it's flagging words. This thing is flagging all these words, how many times they're being used, right?
Because they're constantly being
talking
used.
in code.
Right. So let me tell you what these words
okay,
mean, because it goes beyond pizza.
Just let me rephrase what he said again. For those that may not know, they're talking in codes.
Right.
Okay, so that's why the normal ear would just be they're just talking food.
Yeah, they'd write it off.
Okay.
So hot dog means boy, pizza means girl, cheese means little girl, pasta means little boy, ice cream means male prostitute, walnut means person of color, map means semen, and sauce equals orgy. And these are the words that they were using. So then it ties in to James Alefantis, who I believe is a bastard child of the Rothschilds, because that's what they do. They go and they make babies with women of other ethnicities and cultures, and then they use those kids because they're part of their bloodline. So Pizzagate, it all centered around Comet Ping Pong Pizza in Washington, D.C. And that's where all like celebrities.
It was a pizza joint.
Yeah, it was a pizza joint in Washington, D.C. And that's where the politicians would go, etc. And this guy, James Alefantis, like for example, Alefantis visited Obama 4 times in the White House. One time he took a male porn star. But this is James Alefantis. You can see how sicko he is. He has blood.
Damn.
What about Obama's birthday party? He ordered all those pizzas. Children.
Hot dogs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Children. Right?
Yeah, hot dogs. They ordered boys.
A gang of them.
Now we're not talking about Oscar Myers. We're talking
We're
about
talking about young boys he ordered for his birthday, bro.
Out of Chicago, had them flown in to D.C. To the White House. Okay, and you say, well, so basically like a huge orgy, if you will, with little boys. But and you say that's ridiculous. That's just absurd. No, go back to the Boys Town scandal in the 80s, I believe, under the Reagan administration. I believe it was the Reagan administration or Bush administration. Boys Town. That's like an orphanage. Like we're all
Right.
okay, and it's its own city. But this guy, Larry King, not to be confused with the host, but this black dude, Larry King, African-American guy, Larry King, he ran all of that. And he was a heavy Republican, you know, and he sang the national anthem at the RNC in the 80s. He was bringing those boys in. It was a huge scandal, printed in the papers, etc. It's called the Boys Town scandal. And so to say, oh, Obama flying it, no, it was kind of like a common practice.
Right.
That's what these people do. So yeah, and so, you know, if you go to like fact checkers, they'll try, you got to beware of those people that fact check, like Snopes. That's one dude running the show. You'd think he'd have it's not. And they have ulterior motives. So that's the best way. So at Pizzagate or in Comet Ping Pong Pizza, he would post pictures on Instagram of like little kids with their hands taped on the table. Just
Podesta
like
had a gang of stuff. He had that little boy he sacrificed. He did a music video with.
Yep.
That one song that you didn't. I don't know I don't know the words of it, bro. But anyways, you seen that when he painted his face and all that?
Yeah.
And that's her
but
Hillary's lawyer.
that's when the little boy's next to him with the half page.
Yeah.
That's that one talk show host. But I have another video of Podesta like torturing a kid at Comet, like, because they have like these dark rooms. They'd have like these bands that sing about like Satanism, just like weird stuff. Now the guy, not to cut you off.
No, go for it.
But there's a guy. So all this Pizzagate stuff was happening. So then they had to send their reinforcements in to control the situation. So there's this guy that walked in with a gun. And it's completely outraged. Well, that's the way they framed it. He was outraged about all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And he went in and he started shooting. Well, he shot right through the hard drive.
Oh.
He shot right through the hard drive of their computer. So all that information's gone. And
but they still got busted for it. Obama's got caught up in that. Ellen DeGeneres got caught up that first time she got busted.
Yeah.
Who else got busted? A lot of people got busted for that, bro. Like organ harvesting, child trafficking. They were using that Wayfair app, marketing children as furniture.
Yeah, you'd see a couch for like
that couch
crazy price.
That couch had the name of the child.
Oh,
so if they were selling little Sarah, this couch is little Sarah. She's going for $43,000. Can be delivered today. But you got to be part of that club, you know.
Of course.
Only they know what
they know
ordering.
where to go. They know where to go to look.
So I think you might have mentioned it, and for the people that might not have heard, who leaked these emails and these codes?
Well, they were doing an investigation, bro, and they couldn't find nothing, and they were looking for like people that do encrypting stuff.
Oh,
so they use this program to flag anything, like any words or key, like they do when you're on the phone and you make a threat to the president. That computer will pick up that word, bro, and the FBI will be at your pad the next day, homie. It's the same thing. So all these words came up so many times, and they're like, well, what the hell they're talking about? Can they talk about pizza that much? And then they started watching them, bro, and they started seeing. I think did they find kids at the pizza joint?
No, that was no, they didn't. That was the thing. I think they had enough time to cover their bases. But you can't ignore all of the other facts. And on that podcast, he showed you how they had Trump carrying 2 babies. I pulled it. So
Oh, yeah. I use that as one of my thumbnails.
Oh, okay, so you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. I was just making sure.
Now, okay, since you brought that up, it's a picture of Trump with children, and I guess Hillary looks like a witch behind them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Do you guys believe that Trump knew about this before this ever made headlines, the whole Pizzagate thing? Do you think he knew what was going on?
I personally believe all them pieces of shit are all part of the whole thing.
Okay.
All of them. There's not one that, Trump is Christian and he's spreading positivity or whatever. Hell no. You cannot be that close to all these people that are all corrupt and not be a part of that.
Okay.
Well, Trump made a speech in Florida.
Uh-huh.
I want to say probably 2017. I have it right here, where he says, I used to be an insider. I used to be a part of the club. And since I used to be a part of that special club, I'm the only guy that can fix it. Trump's also the only politician. Now, I'm not disagreeing with him, per se, but these are just little kibbles that he's thrown out. He's also spoke about human trafficking, saying it's the most ancient type of business that's around these days. And he's signed executive orders and things like that to combat human trafficking and child sex trafficking. So that's my take on it.
So let me my bad. Let
Go
me
for
ask
it.
you one thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
How powerful do you think the elite, the ones that run everything, bro, media, everything, how powerful do you believe that they are?
Oh,
Beyond, right?
omnipotent.
They could do anything,
Anything.
right? So
Anything.
why? I mean, if you do give Trump a little bit credit, I don't know if you do or not. But say somebody were to give that credit to him, right? That he is trying to expose and come forward and do this big old unraveling, right? Why would they let him do that? Why would he get away with that? Because I believe that it's a big old conspiracy that they're doing this shit. Oh, let's have everybody woke. You got that girl, what's her name, Kamala, saying, using that word woke. You need to be woke these days. You need to be woke. They're the ones spreading that woke shit.
They are.
They're the ones putting that shit on TikTok and Instagram, and you need to be woke. And they sprinkle a little bit of truth over there with a little bit of truth over there, and they are inciting hate. They're inciting rioting. They're inciting all that shit. Let's put a stick of bricks right there by that the civic center. Let's go do this over here. Let's take away their rights in this town because
Let's
you know
put
that's
this pallet of bricks over here in the corner.
They're pushing us for rioting, bro.
Right.
To have an uprising. To manifest their reality.
Right.
Of locking us all down.
Right, which is a socialist or communist approach.
Yeah.
That's their end game.
Yeah. I mean,
And I think
put it right here like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think that's why they're going. In my personal opinion, that's why they're going after him so hard. And I don't know if you saw, he gave one speech at the Whirlpool company, like, you know, the Whirlpool, and they make a washing machine where they make appliances.
Yeah, yeah.
And he made us, and it kind of all threw us off, but he said, I'm going to be going away for a little while. He's like, this is probably the last time that you see me.
Just like the book.
Because I've created enemies, you know what I mean? Powerful enemies that hate me, etc. But that's just a little kibble, just.
Have you heard of the book? What you're talking about?
Which book?
Trump's Marvelous.
Yeah, I own it.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So you did a book with him?
No, it's a book, bro. Talking about
Is it Marvelous?
Trump.
The something journey of Baron Trump.
Yeah.
I think he's Baron.
And his son's named Baron.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So anything else you guys want to add to Pizzagate before we go to our next topic?
Go for
No,
it.
I think we
Okay, I
nailed
think
it.
this kind of, the reason why I put it like that, because when the camera's on him, it picks up.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So one thing I believe kind of goes with it, and this is where I'm uneducated, but I believe these are questions that our people should know. Not just everyone else, but specifically ours. And I'm going to tell you why, because many of us, raza, we would rather hate than learn. We would rather say, fuck that fucking idiot. He doesn't know shit. He just believes in the fucking flat earth, but never bother to look into it. This is probably the wackest fucking podcast there is. Why? Because we encourage you to do your own research, because we encourage you to study.
Think for yourselves.
Yeah, think for yourself. Well, I don't need you to tell me that. Then don't listen. I just wanted to throw that out there, okay? But I believe these are some of the topics that not too many people are covering today, or they might have covered it once, got a little bit of views, and then just kind of forgot about it. But I believe come election time, I believe it's important for us to remind people what was going on when some of these people were in office. For an example, Panda eyes. Can you explain what Panda eyes, and then use the word penetration instead of, the other word?
How about sodomized?
That's fine.
So Panda eyes, where the children get these black dark circles underneath their eyes.
Now, but explain how.
Yeah, per my research, it's a result of these young children being sodomized, and it's too much for the backside to handle, and it breaks their blood capillaries underneath their eyes right here, and it gives them panda eyes, black circles.
How long? Well, first and foremost, who does this? Number one. Number two, how long have you been knowing about this?
Panda eyes since about 2016, 17,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Okay, and who gets involved in these panda eyes? Like, what would make, I guess, somebody? Because, like, if I sit back and think, wait, what would make you think of doing that? Like,
Because they're pros at this.
And
This
again,
is centuries old.
and let's narrow it down. Who are they? Can we just say the elitists?
The elitists,
Okay,
the club.
the club, and I mean, Marvelous. What is the thrill that they get out of this? Is it just to do this to the innocent? Is it? I'm just trying to guess. What is it that they're getting out of this?
So to the regular person,
Yes.
that doesn't know about spiritual warfare or sacrificial offerings or energy itself.
Okay.
This is a form of taking a spirit or dominating somebody's spirit. It's not about the satisfaction of an erection or ejaculating in somebody's butthole. Like, these people want a pure spirit without sin. Their blood is pure.
Innocence.
So, yeah, innocent. And when you take that, you're literally entering the exit of all your nerve endings, bro. That's where all your nerve endings end, right there at your butthole. You know, that's why it's so dangerous for like anything to be like right there, bro. And it goes all the way up your chakra, boom, all the way
To
up
the base,
to your
to the
top
crown,
chakra, crown chakra, right? But when you do that, it's a spiritual thing of them dominating and in a way, what do you call it? I'm not kidnapped, but taking their spirit from them, you know. But in the midst of all that, they're that's what's happening, you know. Their little arteries are busting up, them being plunged, bro. They're they're kids, homie. It's ugly to even say, you know.
Yeah.
But these dirty motherfuckers might do it for satisfaction at first, but you know, when they get higher up in the hierarchy of whatever they're involved in, whether it's a cult, be Masons or whatever, those ritual sacrifices have to mean something.
Yeah.
So it's a form of vampirism, or, you know, it kind of runs along those lines. For example, Aleister Crowley, his explanation, he used to have a thing called the tunnels of Typhon, and that's what they would call when they would sodomize primarily young boys. And so what that was supposed to do was take you to an alternate reality or an alternate universe when you're going through these things. And from the research and the documentaries I've seen, the point is to find one of these alternate realities or universes, and then you become the god of that universe. Also, there's multiple meanings to a lot of these symbols. So the eye inside the pyramid, or, you know, the all-seeing eye of Horus or Providence, there's many names for it, Lucifer.
Yes.
That eye can also, per Aleister Crowley, represent a rectum, like your brown eye.
Right.
So, but it's called the tunnels of Typhon. That's the ritual that Aleister Crowley used to do.
Right. It's hard for me to even answer. I mean, to ask some of these questions because, it's really troubling to even talk about this. To be quite honest with you, because
it is.
Because you know that we all have children here. I have grandchildren. You have grandchildren, and we know what we would do if somebody tried. Okay, with one of ours. Okay. So it's very, very hard for me to think that someone who's an elite, who has
everything, worldly things,
now wants something that they can't. Well, I'm sure they can pay for it, but something spiritually, like you said. You know, this is how I'm gonna, if you will, feed my spirit. We would feed our spirit with word, with wisdom and knowledge. With them, it's taking something innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that person is not a person anymore.
You're right.
In the spiritual world, that they have legions of demons in them and around them.
No, you know what? I'm glad you said that. They are not a person anymore, bro.
And that's what it's hard to talk to people, because people don't look at life like that. They look at it the physical, the Tony right here in the flesh. They're not looking at all the angels or demons per person.
Yeah,
he just came with whoever he came with.
Yeah,
you were here with whoever you're here with, and I brought whoever I brought. So let's talk about it. It's either gonna get good depending, or it's gonna get bad depending.
And Aleister Crowley bragged about murdering 150 children in 1 year.
Now,
so
let's switch that up a little bit, because you mentioned something earlier, and I want to stick with it. I want to talk about negative energy, because we're kind of going that route. When you said that person's not even a person anymore, that person has legions of demons. You mentioned Aleister Crowley. Can you kind of give a background for the people that may not know who Aleister Crowley is, moving into the subject of a negative energy?
So Aleister Crowley basically grew up rich in England. He was an elite, just born into it.
Yeah.
He was a Knights Templar, and he worked with MI5, like British intelligence, and things like that.
Okay.
And they called him the Beast.
Yes.
He conjured up, according to the books and research, an entity named Lamb
Okay.
that looks like a gray alien. I mean, that's the way that they draw it.
Right.
There's a theory that Barbara Bush is actually a descendant of Aleister Crowley. If you put Barbara Bush next to Aleister Crowley, like the similarities are uncanny.
Yeah.
Their similarities are uncanny. But he was just like a madman. I mean, in layman's terms, he was just a madman. He called himself the Beast, 666, the whole thing. He embraced that whole
Lifestyle.
imagery and lifestyle.
I went. There's a bookstore in downtown LA. I think it's called the Last Bookstore or something like that. It's a huge bookstore, upstairs and downstairs. Okay, and I went there maybe about a year ago, and there's a section where they have their expensive books. So I went in there. I love books, so I went in there, and then some of them were closed off in showcases where you have to take off the lock and open it up, and they had Aleister Crowley and Anton LaVey books in there. They had them open for people to look. One of them was actually even autographed by Aleister Crowley. And they were saying, "Oh, this was worth this much because it's actually autographed."
I don't even want to touch that.
No,
shit.
well, here's where I'm going with that. Here's where I'm going. The guy, I didn't even ask him. He was looking, and I was just looking at it like, "Wow, this is really his shit right here." And the guy opened it up, and he goes, "Yeah, this one's worth this much. You want to check it out? Are you into Aleister Crowley?" And I said, "No, I was just looking." He goes, "Here, you want to hold it? You want to read it?"
Fuck no.
I didn't want to hold that shit, bro. I didn't. Look, maybe people are gonna say, "What are you afraid of, Tony? That the fucking boogeyman's gonna show up?" I don't want nothing to grab onto me and follow me home, bro.
Right.
So,
I wouldn't pay for it, but I would read it because I feel that we need to know what the enemy believes in, what they think like, with anything that we could gain to understand our enemy.
You can buy it and you can tell me all about it.
I'll tell you, and it's pure sodomy and chaos, bro.
Yeah,
That's exactly what
I'd
it
agree.
is.
Without reading it, I'm assuming.
Have you ever seen the Aleister Crowley movie? They actually made a movie of him.
I haven't, but I know the stars loved him. I mean, Beatles put him on their Yellow Submarine album cover.
Look at all of them that say they worship Lucifer, though. Sammy Davis Jr.
All of them.
They're all Masons, man.
Yeah, they're all Freemasons.
And Aleister Crowley ordained Anton LaVey. Mm-hmm. Anton LaVey had a cameo, and remember those guys, the Rat Pack?
Yeah. Frank Sinatra, Sammy D. He just brought up Sammy D.
Yeah, they were all part of that. All of them.
All these people that we
idolize,
hold in high esteem. Again, there's the word idol.
Yeah.
And we're so programmed in pop culture is like, well, you don't like something. And then we end up looking like the black sheep because we're actually speaking truth.
But these idols are created for a reason too. That's part of the agenda. If you're not going to worship our God, I'm going to create an idol that you worship that worships our God.
Right. Yeah.
It's still going to manifest our reality.
I agree with that.
It's
I agree
wicked,
with that.
homie. This shit's
False
wicked.
idols.
Do you believe, and I believe I already know the answer, but I want to ask you, do you believe that there are people, I know Marvelous pretty much already answered this, that do carry negative energy, that even if you didn't have, if you will, like the gift of discernment, that maybe that spirit could be so strong that possibly even women, men, or even children could even sense something wrong with that person?
I do.
Okay.
I know it's been brought up before. I guess what I was trying to convey was like the way that we see demon possession in movies, like The Exorcist and the head spinning.
Right.
That's all just movie stuff. It's a lot more subtle than that. This energy that in my opinion, this energy that can occupy your vessel.
Yes.
So I don't think it's throwing up green juice or
That's
what I mean,
the original
these
Hot
things
Tour.
that they depict in the movies.
Oh, hell no.
But it's something more subtle. And yes, so I believe in that. So I just wanted to distinguish because I had said in the past podcast.
I'm going to share with you guys a true story. Knew a woman that worked at CVS. Okay?
Don't be lying, Tony.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
And, obviously we already know that a lot of CVS is closed because they were being ripped off by people that would just walk in with trash bags, fill them up, and walk back out. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you can't do nothing about it. They even tell CVS workers there, don't even try to apprehend them. Don't try to stop them. Okay. There was a lady there that I knew. She was a friend of the family. And she would always say that there was a certain individual that always gave her the creeps. that always like there's just something, eerie about this older man. So one day I walked in there and he happened to be there. And I saw him, and the crazy part is that he was my friend's dad. A guy that I knew for a long time. Right. Now, I didn't feel exactly the way she felt, but I always knew that there was something off about that guy. So I just happened to ask her, why? What is it about that guy that
gives you the heebie-jeebies?
He goes, every time I walk by him, he tries to talk to me. I go, so is he flirting with you? He goes, no, there's just something. Now, this woman doesn't have any kind of religious background, nothing, but she was just feeling something off of him. So one day she told me, he would always come and bring negatives because he wanted pictures. He was one of the guys that would still bring negatives, and get pictures developed.
That's peculiar.
Well, one day the machine broke down. Now, if they when they look at those pictures, if they see anything suspicious, they have to call the cops.
You have to report it.
Okay. Well, what this guy was doing, he was parking in front of elementary schools.
Damn.
And zooming in and taking pictures of kids' feet with sandals, shorts, stuff like that. She felt that this was just way too much. So she called the cops. And the cops said, call him up and tell him that you got his pictures done. He came in, they arrested him.
Yeah.
They ended up having a case against him that he was involved in that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So now I say that to say, obviously that was an instance where a woman who doesn't have any kind of discernment, or maybe she didn't even know it, she picked up on his negative energy, that there was something oozing out of him that she saw was wrong. Yeah, so do you believe, Marvelous, and again, you already answered it, that there are people that can give off that type of negative energy?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I concur.
Okay. I have another story, but I'll save that one.
Sure.
Because I have a ton. One of them just was told to me by my brother, but I'll wait on that one. Okay, so we talked so far about the flat earth, just to give everybody a recap, because we've been on here an hour. Firmament, negative energy, Pizzagate, Panda eyes, vampires. Now I want to talk about 911. Was 911, Brando, and I'll start with you and I'll shift it over to Marvelous after. Was it a inside job? Was there terrorists? Was Osama bin Laden a part of it? Were those planes real? Did those people in those planes actually die? Fill us in from what you, because let me tell you what the whole world believes. Terrorists from the Osama bin Laden regime came here. They learned how to fly planes. They hijacked them and they drove them into the Twin Towers to pretty much bankrupt us, to pretty much destroy our economy. And but this was, well, I don't even know if this is even true. This was even footage, but they were actually even celebrating supposedly over there in Palestine when this has happened. I don't even know if that footage is even true now. Osama bin Laden, they said they had footage of him laughing. I don't know. They said Obama, had Osama, taken down. Yeah, I don't even know if that even happened. So now I don't even know what to believe. Kind of share with us what you have.
Yeah. So my take on 9/11, was it an inside job?
Yes.
Yes, with cooperation with Israel. So I believe that there was explosives planted inside those buildings. Because if you look at it, they blow out. And it was a controlled demolition because they go bah, 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 just like as it would in a controlled demolition.
Squib.
And, excuse me?
They're called squibs.
Okay. Oh, I learned something new. Okay.
Yeah, they're air bursts.
Okay, dope. So with that said...
Not bad, bro.
no, it's cool.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. There, and I had said Jews in the last podcast. I'd like to use the proper name, the dancing Israelis. So there was some guys that were across from, the Twin Towers, across the Hudson, and they could be seen standing on top of their van. And when those things came down, they were cheering and just rejoicing over the fact that those buildings toppled. They've been labeled the dancing Israelis. the Secretary of State or the Secretary of Homeland Security at that time, they had found like there was X amount of Israeli spies inside of our country at the time. They just turned a blind eye. But they let those dudes go back to Israel. And they were part of the Mossad, which is the Israeli CIA. So I believe there was explosives put in there. And I believe that the planes weren't real and they were CGI. And the last podcast, I brain farted. I was like, AI, I misspoke. It's CGI, computer generated imagery. Okay. Back to Aleister Crowley. His primary occult numbers were 11, 93, 77, and 175. What are the planes that crashed into the towers? Those same numbers. It was, it says there's multiple, don't let a good crisis go to waste, right? There was also an occult aspect to 9/11. That was a ritual called cremation of care. It's the same ritual that they perform in Bohemian Grove. So when there's so it was called the cremation of care. And those two towers represented the tree of life, basically. And the one with the antenna represented the male. The one without represented the female. And the one in the middle represented your base chakra. And that's like the middle pillar that you're supposed to, he talked about the chakras go up to your crown chakra. And it was called the cremation of care. It also forms the number 11, which is it's a number that Freemasons use when there's an operation in progress. So the number 11. Wow. It was building 7 that gave it away. Because building 7 didn't get hit and it ended up crashing.
They said it got hit.
And that's what made people start. And then the plane that went into the Pentagon, how did it go through all like the stoplights and everything and to get in there? And you look at the video and it's unbelievable. It's some type of rocket.
It's a cruise missile, bro.
Okay, the one that they ended up taking over and crashed into the ground. They never found any pieces.
Yeah.
So like you're insulting my intelligence by having me believe this. You understand? So there's the physical aspect.
And you got so many people, being spun that narrative and they believe it and you start to lie to yourself, bro. It's the same thing in psychology when they do those experiments, bro, and they put a person in the elevator and they're all facing a certain way. And the person that's just new to all, they don't know nothing, they'll turn that way too, thinking that they're supposed to do that.
Right.
And every 5 minutes they keep turning the other way and that person keeps following them.
Right.
That's how the masses are.
Familiarity breeds acceptance.
Keep
so
the
more
camera
you hear it.
on Marvelous really fast. I'm going to go ahead and get us something. Would you guys want something to drink, bro? Anything else?
No, I'm cool.
I'm good.
Okay.
Or I'll take another one if you have another one.
Okay. Marvelous, can you just elaborate a little bit more on those buildings, on how they fell, please?
Yeah, I'd like to hear your take. Yeah.
Well, they fell because they were bombed.
Right.
That whole thing with Obama, as far as I know, he died in 2001 from cancer.
Osama bin Laden or Obama?
I mean, Osama bin Laden, not Obama, my bad. Osama bin Laden. SEAL Team 6, look at them. Where are they at? They all supposedly died.
Yeah, and they threw them at sea.
Yeah, and they threw them. And who does that? Whenever they want to get rid of them, they throw them at sea.
Right.
But everybody else, you had a burial for them, and you're showing us everything. But them, it's like a lie, bro. Lie after lie. Mm-hmm. And every time you confront them on something else, they come up with another excuse on why that is,
And it blew up really important documents and stuff in that building as well. The
insurance policy that was taken out 3 months before, the gang of money, dude. And that dude, I forgot his name, bro. You know his name? The guy that took out the insurance policy. He had breakfast every day there at I forgot what floor it was, way up top. But that day he didn't go.
Yeah, I've heard. I can't remember the name.
Michael Jackson
there were certain people
there.
Certain people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for some reason he didn't go.
It wasn't Warren Buffett, was it?
I don't know, man. And then there was a couple of the dancing Jews, as he calls them, or whatever.
Dancing Israelis,
or dancing Israelis that came forward and said that they're all linked up on a text program where they get a message.
Encrypted something.
Yeah, they all get that message, whether it's to leave the city or whatever,
Wow.
And Osama bin Laden was CIA. They were CIA.
Yeah,
Osama bin Laden's family and the Bush family both sat on the board of directors for the Carlyle Group.
So they were homies.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had to do with weapons manufacturing. So who's going to gain from the war?
Okay, remember that movie? What the hell is the name? They call him a Marxist. The guy who made a movie about 9/11. The guy with the glasses.
Oh, yeah, Michael Moore.
Michael Moore. Okay. Because
Even though he's a liberal, there was some good takeaways from that.
Yeah, it was. Now, God, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. The part supposedly when the Secret Service went up to Bush and he's with the children and he had just told them that they had just gotten bombed.
And what are they reading?
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what? I don't know that.
Oh, tell him, Marvelous.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Everybody criticized Bush because they said he looked like he was like
Scared.
Okay, now, did Bush know beforehand?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
His whole his dad. They're known to
Okay.
be the bloodline of the reptilian, bro.
Oh, wow.
His dad would still get CIA briefings even
His
at
dad,
long gone
Bush,
after
is the one that took what's his name? Oh my God. He took his bones. The skull and bones. They went and ransacked
Geronimo.
They have his skull.
Indian
still,
Geronimo.
Yeah. They've been trying to get the bones back for a long time, bro.
They're in the tomb supposedly at Yale in the skull and bones.
Yeah, they went and stole it and took that shit.
Now, when Bush was notified that we had been under attack, what books were the kids reading?
Well, they were reading a rhyme that had to do with the kite going into a building and stealing something.
Oh no, that's not what I saw. I saw
one are you talking
they were
about?
reading a book about a goat.
Oh,
Really?
that's another one then.
Okay.
Yeah. But the one you don't know about the kite thing?
No,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what is the goat about? Or
Well, we're talking Baphomet,
Right.
kind of lends itself to
wow.
that.
Okay, did you want one, bro?
No, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You had one last time. Okay, and last time you walked out a little bit stuttering. So maybe towards the end.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have one.
Yeah.
It's dealing with Indians and bones.
Yeah.
They created the Federal Reserve at this place called Jekyll Island. And that's where they all met and formulated, this whole idea for the Federal Reserve. And it's still there to this day. And like the floors are like see-through and you can actually see the bones and stuff of these Indians.
Really?
Down there. Yeah. It's called Jekyll Island.
Okay,
And that's where the Fed was, the Federal Reserve was contemplated and created.
okay. I want to get into, unless you guys want to add anything else, I want to get into some of the community questions for about 15 minutes, and then we take rest phone calls.
Go for it, bro. Whatever you
Okay,
want.
so one of the questions is like, this has nothing to do with our topics, but it says, do you believe people see their dreams? Do you believe blind people see their dreams, or do they dream about seeing? That's a very interesting question. I've always had that question. I wonder if blind people can see. That's kind of like a person who they would consider, who can't talk. I wonder if their dreams, do they talk? I don't know. I think we should only
True,
ask
because
them.
I would say, well, my initial reaction was like, yes, because it's in the mind's eye. But if they've never had so if they were blind since birth, I would say, I don't know. But if they had the ability to see and then lost their sight, then I would say
That's
the
a different story.
probability, the
Yes.
probability of them having dreams where they're seeing stuff would be more, would be more reasonable.
I mean, 'cause think about this, Marvelous. Like, think about a person who's been blind his whole life, never saw a woman, never saw a man, doesn't know really what your eyes look like, except, we can kind of make out what it looks like. Don't really know what a pizza looks like. We know what it tastes like, a hamburger. I wonder if they dream, like, what are the images,
Yeah,
that
that's
they
crazy.
see.
Yep.
Because they have no reference.
Well, what about an octopus and some sea creatures? They feel color. They could feel the color orange or feel purple.
I didn't know that.
And that's how they change their color to that object.
Wow, I didn't know that. Now, think about this. I think one of the best true forms of beauty, even though I still want to see the girl, you're blind and you meet someone and you fall for them for who they are, not for what they
But you
look
fell
like.
literally because you're blind, or?
No.
Oh, my bad.
I'm in a library and I meet a librarian.
But
and
if they're blind, why are they at the library?
Well, I don't know. I'm just there to listen
Well,
to
then
books.
act right, Tony.
He's giving us a
We're
hypothetical
having
here.
be serious right here, man.
I am. Hey, you guys see the way he's acting?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm there to listen to books. Okay. And maybe she reads to me. And I start falling in love
How
with
would
her.
she read to you, Tony?
No, if I'm blind.
Oh,
He's
you're
blind.
blind, not her.
Yeah, not her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, this guy's. You got something up your sleeve, for me.
I just want to see if you could see what I'm saying.
Blind
Right.
people can read. They have Braille. They use Braille.
Oh, you're right. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Alex T. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, so let's just say he falls in love with her, but he doesn't know that she's fat and Puerto Rican, and I'm not picking any ethnicity.
Right.
But
Hypothetically.
that's like the best form of love because you actually fell in love with a person that
With
you
their
fell in love
soul.
with the soul.
Yeah.
And today, let's be honest, it's backwards. That girl got some big ass, now got some big ass that does, not knowing she might be the fucking devil.
Right.
Damn.
Or just dysfunctional or
Yeah. Okay. So
emotional
that
problems.
was one good question. Okay. Let me see. I always love this one. Nobody could answer it, but let's take a shot at it. Who do you believe built the pyramids in Egypt? And also, who built the ones in Mexico? Let's take the pyramids in Egypt first. I'll tell you what a guy named archaeologist Zahi Hawass. Are you familiar with him?
No.
He's a famous archaeologist from Egypt. He's Egyptian. He'll tell you that yes, there were Hebrews in Egypt for 400 years. He tells the story of Moses, Joseph, etc. But he'll say no, they didn't build it. The Egyptians did. Now, how they built them, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, with what technology did they use?
You guys want to take a stab at it? Who built the pyramids in Egypt?
I think the Egyptians.
Okay. Yeah.
Whether that was via slaves,
Right.
Using laborers,
Right.
to make them, or just straight up Egyptians.
Right.
I don't think it was like some aliens that came and made those pyramids.
Well, that's what they taught us. Well, I don't want to say taught us. That's what
That's
they
a
showed
History
us.
Channel would show us. And
Well, in that movie Noah with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, was booty. I don't recommend it. They got the Nephilims to help them, or the fallen angels to help them build the ark.
The ark.
So, Marvelous, take a stab at it.
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard or seen anything levitated with sound frequency or anything.
Yes, yes.
I believe that's how they were built.
Yeah, so they had technology that's unavailable to us.
And you know
right
what?
now, and hidden.
I do not go against that theory, bro. Because there's a lot of things we don't know. And the best, wisest answer that I can give anybody, and you shouldn't be ashamed to say it, I don't know.
Right.
Because that's how you learn.
Right. And those three pyramids align perfectly with the belt of Orion, the three stars on the belt of Orion.
See, now,
And then, how do you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
Well, just like researching
Like,
and.
how though? How do you think they know that?
Oh.
My bad.
No, okay. They were advanced. I mean, they didn't have any
No,
TVs.
but like
They
anybody,
stu-
like they tell us that they're aligned with Orion's belt, right? Mm-hmm. But they're telling you that there's 12 constellations, right? Mm-hmm. That's not true.
There's
They're
more
telling you
now,
There's
I believe.
12 months, right? That's not true. Our time's invalid. That's wrong. The Earth isn't round. So how would they be lined up if the Earth is round and they're saying that it's based off that?
because the stars are inside the firmament, basically fixed, and that's how they're aligned.
So if luminaries and stars, right?
Mhm.
Or how far apart are they? How far apart do you think those stars on Orion's belt are far from each other?
I don't know.
That's good. That's good.
How
I don't know.
far
I don't
are
know
those
the answer. I don't know like
pyramids
how many miles or.
I know, but it's like basic comprehension, right?
Uh-huh.
I put a cup right here. I put this right here. I put my phone right here. What's the distance between this phone and this can and that cup?
Right.
It's
And
not
I don't
that
know
far,
the distance
right?
even between the pyramids.
But they're telling you that these line up perfectly with those stars that are a million light years away from each other. How does that make sense?
Oh, so you're saying you don't believe that?
It doesn't make sense. Just like the
I don't think
whole-
they're millions of light years away
Well, I
from
mean,
each
whatever
other.
distance, but you would think a star is not like a couple of miles away, right? Or not even if that, it's not going to be 100 to maybe 1,000 miles away. That distance between that star from that other star is hundreds of thousands of miles away. But it looks like it'd be closer to us because of where we're standing from, right?
Okay.
But if NASA tells you that and they're aligned with this, that, they're not aligned with shit.
Right.
They couldn't be. They couldn't be because down here, this is how far they're apart. Unless the pyramids are being angled out to that star and angled out to that star.
Duly noted. I'll have to look at that. And try
Don't
to
get so
find.
mad.
No, because it's bothersome, homie. When I first started, like, you come
See,
in.
but I heard what he heard. I heard the same thing. I didn't believe it.
And they have this deep adoration for the Orion constellation and Osiris.
Yeah,
they believe when Osiris died, he became the Orion
Like, they tell
constellation.
you all this shit. They tell you.
But it wasn't NASA. It was more like esoteric type of documents and stuff that I
Like right now,
researched.
we know we were raised with all this planet, the Pluto, Uranus, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, whatever, right?
Right.
Those recently became names of planets. Those names before were
They weren't-
God.
yeah,
they
they
were
weren't.
gods they worship.
Right.
Like so,
the pantheon.
how does it become from something of being a worshiping to manifesting your prayer to that God to now it being a planet you could fucking go land on and buy property?
Okay.
And I would say one more thing. I think that all the continents were connected at one time.
Pangea.
So that's why we have.
Okay. Well, I believe the same
That's
thing.
why
too.
we have these pyramids in Mexico and
Okay.
stuff. And that's why there's like similar like belief system, like Quetzalcoatl. He was supposed to be Venus. He was born at 9, and I'm paraphrasing. And at his death, he walked towards the beach, took off his turquoise, blah 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 blah, became a phoenix, and then burnt in his ashes, like a death and resurrection type of thing. But
Okay.
I'm getting off track. But I believe they were all connected.
Okay. So the ones in Mexico, who do you guys believe was built those?
Us.
Yeah,
Okay.
the indigenous.
Okay. Moving on. Question for Marvelous. When and how did the synagogue of Satan steal our identity
Oh,
and pawn themselves off as God's chosen people?
fake Jews. Yeah.
Man, they've been doing it since I can't give a date if that's what they're asking. But
No,
it's been
there's
before-
no time and date.
It's been a long time, and they're so far in generational wise that they actually believe that they're the people, bro. But when you ask them their ethnicity, they'll tell you, "Oh, I'm from Romania, I'm from
Okay.
Poland, I'm from Russia."
They're called crypto Jews as well. The ones that fake it, crypto Jews.
Crypto. Okay. Best advice you've got. Favorite quotes on anything. Best advice you got. I'll give you the best advice that was given to me. Stop doing what's wrong and start doing what's right.
Once the decision is made, the doing becomes effortless.
How would you know it was right if you never did wrong?
Because we have at least something that gives us our morals and we know what's right and wrong. So that's where I would.
We
get
need
that.
both, like the yin yang, right? You
Okay.
need evil to know good, good to know evil. If you didn't, you wouldn't know neither. But learn something from everybody and anybody. My grandfather.
Okay. There was one more thing. What about what has been unburdened? What could be from what has been burdened?
What the hell?
What the fuck is she saying, bro? Okay. Anyways, yeah, that was a good one. Question for Brando and Marvelous. Besides having a power generator, what else should we obtain to prepare for the future chaos? Your thoughts, please. Thank you.
Go ahead, bro.
Food and water.
Food and water. I would actually say, believe it or not, whether people want to believe this or not, start growing. Your own
Growing. I was
food.
just going to say that too.
Yeah.
Take it a step further and
Grow
grow.
your own food, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's all organic. It tastes better than what you buy already that's glossy and waxed at the market. You get these nice fat ass tomatoes that look amazing, but the ones that grow from the ground maybe don't look that amazing, but
GMOs and shit
they're
like that.
amazing the way they taste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Marvelous. Anything?
Yeah, the same thing, bro. Grow your own food and water. Definitely toilet paper. I don't know how people are gonna wipe their butt.
Dude wipes. Dude
Yeah, or you
wipes.
can hop in the shower afterward.
Yeah.
Basically have a plan. Have a plan where you're gonna meet, because no cell phone or none of that shit it's gonna be worthless.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because we live in a generation right now where this generation can text, they can tweet, they can inbox, they can DM, they can do everything but have a conversation. We live in a generation that I don't even think could even write in cursive.
Oh
Right.
no, they don't learn.
That's a
they
lost
don't learn
art
that
form.
no more.
That's
Yeah.
a lost art form.
Okay, we live in a generation that probably
I've
couldn't
been
even
practicing.
They probably couldn't even tell the time
Yeah.
if you show them two hands.
Yeah.
Right.
What time is this?
Yeah.
They just look at the phone.
Right.
In a generation that they probably don't even have a book at home.
There's a celebrity that came forward recently, and she had a watch on, and she goes, "I'm wearing this watch, but I can't even tell time. I know that it says 700 100 and something. She said,
So, wow.
damn.
Like, have you seen those videos on Instagram? They're like reels. The guy goes, "What city or what do you say? What country is the Great Wall of China in?" And they were like, "Turkey."
Yo, yeah, when
Yeah.
they go out in the streets and ask
Yes,
questions,
when they ask
it's
those questions,
bananas
bro,
to
like,
the
it's-
Gen
yeah, like-
Zers and
yeah.
How many cents are in a dollar? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
What monetary do they use in New Mexico? The Bitcoin?
yeah, no,
Like, fuck. I'm like, are we that far gone?
yeah.
right. We are.
We're sad to say, but certain women, I'm not trying to say all women, look forward to, I want to start my OnlyFans page.
Right.
You know, Marvelous, I want to
That's
be
my ticket out the hood.
I want to be a famous TikToker. I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know, what happened to going to school? Fuck school, man. My friend blew up on TikTok.
Instant gratis, that monetary value.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Thank you, Tony, for getting these three together. Let me see. So exciting. Can you please ask what Brandon thinks about, okay, Nipsey Hussle. Also, if anyone heard Big Boy interview with Black Sam, I believe, regarding the events the nights before and the day of Nipsey Hussle death.
Oh yeah.
Don't spell out the names correctly since YouTube does like people podcasting about them. Or does. I don't know if he said does or doesn't, but your thoughts on the passing of Nipsey Hussle. Do you believe it was set up, it was organized? I mean, or was it just a street thing?
I'm not, as far as like digging into that. I've
Yeah.
had friends share stories, like people that were actually close to him and,
Yeah.
and things like that. But I haven't done any independent research. I don't really have nothing on Nipsey Hussle. Dr. Sabi's been brought up in that conversation as well.
Yes.
I used to take Dr. Sabi pills. Those things, I mean, bro, you take it. I mean, I would hate it, but like I would know that it's working. Like I'd take them and it would just, it removes all the mucus from your insides, because that's
Iron,
where
sea moss, all that
shit. Oh, and my stomach, I'd be like, oh my God, like it was unbearable. But then I'm like, I know it's working,
Right.
you know.
right.
And then and then it would just start regulating. So once I started taking them on a regular, like I'd go to Jack in the Box and get some tacos, like 2 tacos.
Yeah.
I'd pay for that. It was my body was telling me like, you're giving me garbage. But I don't want to go off on a tangent.
I know,
but,
Marvelous. I
but
know
Sabi was in that same strip mall.
Yeah, very true. I know at times you've talked about his passing, and it was possibly a ritual. For the people that might not have ever heard that conversation, can you kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
So Nipsey was a practicing Mason. People don't know that.
That's the piece I'm missing.
That's a big thing. The other thing, the footage from the thing, you know what? It's about to be like another open investigation probably from all the stuff that people they're asking about that right now. Because some dude is coming forward. I'm not gonna say his name, and he's saying that this other dude was involved in it.
Okay.
That Nipsey didn't get along with or whatever. So there's a lot of evidence that's coming forward now, and evidence of somebody being a federal informant too. So I'm sure that case is gonna be reopened, bro. Again, but I'm factual in saying that LAPD was involved in that shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's got Freemasons all up in the LAPD too.
You got LAPD parked right there in the parking lot, right when that shit went down, and then parked the same cars parked right inside the right there, the same person right there walking around as a detective.
Right.
How does that make sense?
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Anything you care to add to that? Okay.
No.
Let's go on to the next one. Question for Marvelous. Do you plan on making more videos on your channel? You have a lot of knowledge you should share with us. Saludos, respect.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've just had some family stuff going on right now, but for the most part, yeah, we're gonna be filming. So my apologies for the wait. It's just I have to get like a crew together to help me film and answer phone calls and do everything that Tony does right here. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So as soon as I get all that figured, I got you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Big up Alex.
Okay.
My bad. Hi, I should take Alex to the pad.
Here's another one. Is there a different human species past the ice wall?
I believe there is.
Okay.
I believe that there's tribes and people that are just straight hype good. all they know is organic. Like I think about that. That's crazy you brought that up. I didn't even see that question. Man, my bad, bro. If you wanted to answer that,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
think about
Go
that
for
all
it.
the
No, I
time,
love
that-
this. It's like
that I
just-
know there's more land over there.
There is.
I know there's more people, and I think that our little shit is like just it's a game, bro. Like they don't want us to know there's more land. It's like we're in this experiment and we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it is.
And I
Let's
agree,
throw
yeah.
these drugs in there. Let's throw this in there.
To
Let's throw a little-
stimulate the environment.
yeah,
this way.
let's take
the
away
society this
let's
way.
cause a riot. Okay, well, sell them guns and sell them guns. Like you look at the movie the Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. Good movie, Lord of War. You know about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are they doing in that movie? They're selling or they're trying to sell both sides. They're arming them both and making money off of them.
That's what the Rothschilds did. They
Yeah.
funded both sides of the war.
I know Nicolas Cage had a funny like a one-liner. Somebody said, "I want you to give me the Rambo gun," and he said, "Rambo 1 or Rambo 2?" That was something like that, huh?
Yeah.
That was a good question. Well, good a one-liner.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
I've never thought about people though, so that's something that you just
Yeah,
caught my
I believe
ear.
that there's a hybrid race out there that is just fucking
Okay.
straight, like healthy, bro.
I can't
you
rule
know?
anything out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just get one more question, then we'll take some.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Some calls. In plain sight, the movie about filming visiting the moon with Scarlett and
Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. Mm-hmm.
Where they actually filmed it in the famous Lauren Canyon 70s area.
Mm-hmm.
How these famous people were children on high-ranking NASA employees, and how Jared Leto now owned the huge mansion secret film studio. Okay, that wasn't a question. I don't know why.
So they're talking about the studio on Laurel Canyon Drive or Laurel Canyon in Hollywood.
Okay.
They used to make propaganda videos and things in that sound studio, that sound stage.
This is a pretty easy one. This will be our last one, and then we'll go to the. What do you guys think about secret societies? Let me rephrase that. Do you guys believe secret societies exist?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yes, but as of lately, because there gets so much confusion, like, oh, he's a Knights Templar, or he's a Royal Ark Mason, or he's a Scottish Rite Mason, and there's all these different categories. If you really, in my opinion, per my research, if you really want to just get to the bottom of it, it all traces back basically to the beginning of man. And it's the mystery schools of Babylon. Babylon is like where they perfected it. These people, it's mystery Babylon.
Okay.
And mystery schools of Babylon. And all of Freemasonry, I don't care if you're Rosicrucian, I don't even care if you're a Jesuit or a Knights of Malta or whatever, because these are all secret societies.
Okay.
And in the years prior, I would just rack my brain. Well, this was this. Oh, you got the Odd Fellows over here. You have all these different factions. It's the Colombian faction of the Knights Templars. You have all these different degrees, and all this stuff gets thrown at you. If you really want to get to the origin of it, it's the mystery schools of Babylon, the mystery and teachings of Babylon. So that's where all the secret societies, that's where they all stem from. And then the Knights Templar took it, when they were doing the Crusades and stuff in Jerusalem. They were the first international bankers. They protected everybody on the trade route to the Holy Land.
Okay.
Okay, so and they're the ones, the first communists as well. Communism, that's in their toolbox as well. But not to get long-winded. Secret societies, Freemasons. So in Freemasonry, you have the Blue Lodge. There's 3 degrees, okay? Free and accepted, fellow craftsman, master mason. Okay, when you get to the 3rd degree, now you have a choice. This is where there's like a fork in the road. You become a Freemason of the York Rite or a Freemason of the Scottish Rite. Scottish Rite is like Albert Pike.
That's like the old school.
Manly P. Hall. There's less known about the York Rite. Scottish Rite has 32 degrees, and then you have to be asked to become an honorary 33-degree member. York Rite has 13 degrees, but then they've worked it up the way where there ends up being 33. So it gets really, really confusing, but I've kind of been able to get it and wrap my head around it. So that's the premise. You got the Blue Lodge, then you go to the York Rite or Scottish Rite. Scottish Rite is way more popular.
Okay.
But the York Rite, that's where the Templars came from. Okay. And then, but it all goes back to Mystery Babylon.
Spiritually,
My opinion.
Spiritually, who's behind all that?
Lucifer.
Okay.
And his agent Satan.
That's pretty much what I've heard this whole time. Anything you care to add to
The
that?
same thing, bro.
Okay.
Same thing.
Alice, can you go ahead and put our phone number up there so people can start calling? While we do that, I want to give a special shout out to someone who has been a Rhodium Radio, Tony Vision follower, subscriber, since day one. And once again, his name is Anthony Duran. Anthony Duran, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
All right.
I wish you to have many, many more. I know your birthday just recently passed. I believe it was on Monday. But we just want to wish you and me and my team a very, very happy birthday. You know what? And stay blessed. Continue to raise your family. Continue to love your family. And we wish you nothing but the best. And we just want to thank you for everything you have done, for supporting us. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Anthony.
Happy birthday, man.
Here we go. Let's see. Somebody on. Let's see.
It has to be Caesar from Paris.
You know what? That was him. I believe it. I believe it. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm on. Caesar, call back. I know it's you. Okay, here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from? Here's your volume.
Tony A. Caesar from Paris.
Oh.
Caesar from Paris. I was scared. Brando already knew it was you, bro. He's a psychic.
Oh yeah. Welcome back. Marvelous. You. By a head is shining.
Big dog. Big dog. No.
I could.
Your phone is breaking up.
Damn, that sounds bad.
Hello? You got like bad reception.
Up.
There you go. There you go.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
Okay. Buenas noches, Brando. Welcome back.
Thank you, Caesar.
Marvelous. Welcome back. Good to see you. Marvelous. Buenas noches.
Thank you, homie.
Now, by the way, your head is still gleaming, even though you're on the left side. By the way your head is gleaming, I could almost guarantee those things are triples. I love it. Keep it up. All right. Now, we're going to start. Great show.
Thank you.
Great show. As far as the Firmament is concerned, let's look up a couple of channels that help us kind of visualize what these guys are trying to give up. It's a YouTube channel called The Vibes of Cosmos.
The vibes of what?
Now, that will explain a lot of things. The Vibes of
The Vibes of the Cosmos. Bro, you have bad reception.
I think what I took away, he's referring to certain like videos and stuff about the firmament.
Okay.
Yes. Vibes of the Cosmos. Vibes of Cosmos. It'll explain the moon plasma. It'll explain the 7 ceilings of our firmament.
Okay.
Oh,
and if
7
you do
ceilings?
decide to get the 7 ceilings, it's a very interesting, Brendo. I know you would love it. Marvelous. I know you're into all that knowledge. It's a great YouTube channel. Vibes of Cosmos. Please look it up. Great. And I do recommend, Caesar from Paris does love looking through telescopes. But he also recommends trying to get the oldest form of telescopes out there. We're talking the Galileos, the big ones, the ones that look like big bazookas. You'll find them at the Goodwill store and very cheap. Those you could actually see what's really out there. Color does not exist in space, if that's what you want to call it. Pizzagate. Another side note on the firmament and the Arctic Circle. Nos Confunden is a YouTube channel. NOSCONFUNDEN. Nos Confundes. It'll show us a lot more about the Arctic Circle, of what's around what other lands. And also it ties into how the plasma moon is a X-ray of where we're living in today.
That's what I was telling you outside, Tony.
I don't want to say
it's like a mirror of down here. It's a map. And that's where we can identify the different land masses because they're not on our map.
And it's hard to look at it. It's hard to look at the moon and then try to figure out where we are stationed at. but it's almost exact same of it. I love it. You can see it, all of that. And as far as everybody having good energy out there, please spread good energy around. Don't worry about these people that are out of their minds, billionaires that have nothing to do other than to oppress children, have children being scared, have them do crazy things to children that cannot defend themselves. That's the only way these fucking crazy fucks feel any type of life. We are the true ones that are living life. Love yourself, protect your family, love each other. Tony A. Caesar from Paris. I'm out.
There we go. All good.
Caesar, dude.
All good. He's very passionate. That's what
I like
think.
that. Very adamant.
His passion was missing up the frequency.
Of the 440 versus the 432.
Yes, exactly. Okay, everybody, the phone lines are open. Once again, here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ivan, and I'm calling from Sonora, Mexico.
Ivan from Sonora, Mexico. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man.
All
I'm
good,
just
man.
checking out the podcast.
Are you enjoying it tonight? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I do have a question. It's not really a question. It's more like curiosity of what they may think about the mark of the beast, because I have heard them discuss this before in past podcasts, and one of the I just want to address certain things, and I was just curious about what they think about it.
Brando, start with you. I'll go to Marvelous and now in with me.
So the mark
Sorry,
of
what was that?
Oh,
no,
you
he
said-
was just pointing direction to which way we should answer your question. Who should start first? So this is Brando.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and start. All right. So one of the things that I have heard you guys talk about, especially you, Tony, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? First of all, mucho respetos, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a valid watcher, but you guys do show up on my stream, which means that I do watch, you know what I mean, here and there, right? But one of the things that I did come across when I was watching one of you guys' episodes, especially you, Tony, when you say, you know what, I hate to make this into a Bible study, but you know what I mean, people call in and then they ask certain questions, so we have to address it, right? So
Correct.
me too. I hate to turn this into a Bible study, right? So but one of the things that caught my attention when you mentioned about the mark of the beast, right? I believe you said something like everybody's gonna receive a mark, whether it's on the hand, on the forehead, or whatnot, right?
Correct.
Okay, so according to my research, and I do study the Bible and things like that. I'm not an expert. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I'm just whatever. But to me, it sounds, when it comes to the mark of the beast, and the more I read about it, the more it makes sense. To me, it sounds it's going to be a form of worship. It's not going to be physical. You know what I mean? It's not going to be. Think about it. Do you think the devil gives a crap about branding you like cattle? You know what I mean? Like what he wants the most. I believe that what he wants the most is worship, because he wants exactly what God has. Right. So I strongly believe that it's going to be a system where you're going to be forced to worship.
Okay.
You're going to be forced to worship whether you're a believer, like for example, if you believe in, whether you want to worship Satan or you just want to worship to maintain your family and be able to work and live life.
Right. Let Brando go ahead and interrupt really fast and let him give his 2 points.
Yeah. Go for it, man. Go for it.
I hold the same position as you. I don't think it's something that's literal. If there's any type of branding or like literal type of branding going on, I would gravitate towards the birth certificate system Admiralty and Maritime Law, the BEAST system. So now you have this, now granted it's not 666, but now you have this number, this birth certificate number and or your social security number that they say you need to have to function and be a part of this BEAST system. Another way to look at 666,
Okay, go ahead.
in Freemasonry, there's 3 degrees and 6 acts. So that's 3 times 6, that's 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6, so, 3 6s, 666. So when you are taking these oaths and getting into that fraternity, you go through the 3 acts and, the 3 degrees and the 6 acts, which is equals 666. In gematria or numerology, 666 equals base consciousness. And Marvelous has touched upon this. I know I've touched upon this. And that's your base chakra. They want to keep us in base consciousness. They don't want us to evolve and move that energy up to our crown chakra. So that numerology, so there's multiple meanings exist, in my personal opinion. So there's the numerology aspect, and Freemasons, we know they worship Lucifer and the agent Satan, so that fits as well. Also in the Bible, when John's on the island of Patmos and he explains the mark of the beast, he doesn't write out 666. He writes out 300 score and 66. So in gematria or numerology, letters are allocated certain numbers.
Yep.
So when you break that down, he gave us symbols, but that equals 666. So to me, that indicates something. There's something deeper.
We have to do a little bit more research.
Right.
So, okay, I'm going to let Marvelous answer that, and then we have to let you go, caller, because I don't want to keep going over 5-6 minute phone calls. Go ahead, Marvelous.
So what was the question?
The question was,
no problem.
the question was the 666.
One thing that I do want to add, whenever you guys get the chance, one thing, I'm sorry for the interruption, but one thing that I do want to add, whenever you guys get the chance, research Sunday worship. Research Sunday worship. I believe it's going to start that way.
Well, it's the
Sunday
day of the
worship
sun.
And you know what I mean? So it's believe me, like it all comes down to worshiping. So it's nothing going to be physical, just like you said, Brandel, right? So but you know what I mean? Just research Sunday worship. I honestly believe that once the state joins religion, you know what I mean, which is one of the prophecies. That's where it's going to begin. You know what I mean? That's where it's going to begin, and it's going to be it's going to be a worshiping thing.
Oh, good.
You know what I mean? And before you know it, people are going to go ahead and do it without even realizing that they're doing it. You know what I mean? But they're going to feel like they have to do it in order for them to provide on their daily needs or whatnot, right?
Oh, good caller.
But thank you guys, man. Hey, look, I appreciate you guys' time. And muchos saludos acá de Sonora, Mexico. You know how we do it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you, homie. Thank you.
Los Angeles, homie.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Callers, please be mindful. We're trying to get other callers in, so I'm trying to keep every call under 5 minutes. So please, we're not trying to get into a teaching. We're just trying to answer a quick question. We're not trying to debate. We're not trying to argue. You know, we all have differences of opinion, and we respect you. So, you know, let's just keep it going. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Jose from Blythe.
Jose from where?
Blythe.
Okay, I'm not. I didn't hear you. Your phone broke up.
It's Jose from Blythe.
Oh,
Blythe.
Jose from Blythe. Thank you. You're speaking a little bit closer to your phone. Now we can understand you. Thank you. Okay, he hung up again.
Hung up.
Okay, here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up? This is Trucha from Phoenix.
Hey, what's up, Trucha from Phoenix?
From Marvelous.
Yes, sir. What's going on, homie?
So, wait, I don't mean no disrespect, my boy. When are you gonna take that fucking?
I can't hear. Why are they all breaking up?
I don't know. Here we go, right here. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Leo, Life of Leo 85 out of Medford, Oregon. And I just wanted to say that you guys are doing a job that podcast for a very long time and marvelous, and the whole shebang about the flat planet and everything that you guys talk about. I love it. I listen to you guys at work every day. And all I gotta say is thank you guys for being on live. I'm enjoying your guys' moment.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank
That
you.
said, man, I'm out.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate that. I don't know what it is. Maybe we have a different setup. Maybe I gotta get a new wire or something.
The wire.
All right, you guys. If you're gonna call in and at least make sure your phone doesn't break up. If you guys want to say something disrespectful or something positive, doesn't matter. We take all calls. Let's go ahead and we got a couple of more minutes before we call it a night. I want to stay on time, so if you got a call, let's do this. Okay, here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Lou from New York.
What's good, my brother from New York? How you doing tonight?
Hey, feeling good, my man.
You got a question?
Yeah, I got a question about that flat Earth stuff.
Okay.
Hey, I got a question for you guys, or more like I want to say something about flat Earth.
Yeah, you got to speak a little bit closer to
a
your
lot of
phone.
people talk about gravity. Yeah. What do you think of gravity?
Think of what?
Gravity. What do you think of gravity?
I don't really fund a lot of belief in gravity. Personally, myself.
Yeah.
I don't.
Gravity. You think it's real?
I don't.
Think gravity's real, Marvelous?
No, gravity's not real. Gravity's a theory. That's a fact.
Apple fell on some dude's head
they
and he had
used
some
it.
ingenious idea.
They use it for all the theories about how the planets move around each other.
Yeah, they need that theory. Just like they needed to go to the moon supposedly to get that picture of the ball Earth.
It's all pseudoscience.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, it's pseudoscience. So, no, I don't fund any belief in gravity. I don't, yeah. There's certain objects that are more dense than others, but I don't think it's gravity that's holding us down.
What do you think, caller?
Thank you.
All right. Thank
That's
you.
the way the cookie crumbles.
That was it. Okay, let's we got about time for about 2 more phone calls if you guys want to call in, you guys. So, but make sure you guys, hey, listen, make sure your TV's down and make sure you're talking into your phone. I know a lot of times a lot of you guys have Bluetooth, you're talking into headphones or whatnot. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Keith Wiley, and I'm calling from. I'm in Corona now.
What's up, Keith?
All good, Keith. You got a question?
What's up, Ballin' Brando?
Was it? Oh,
buddy?
shit. Is this you, Keith?
Yes, sir.
Wiley?
Yes, sir. How you doing, family?
I'm good, man. How are you, Keith?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, man, and I'm glad to see you're doing well, and glad to hear you are wide awake to what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
thank you, man.
Marvelous. Yes, sir. And Marvelous Inc. I followed you for a while, man, and listened to a few of your podcasts and stories, man. I'm glad you understand the knowledge, man, and you're bringing us together instead of separating us with the knowledge that we're both blacks and Latinos are the Hebrews, you know, from the tribe of Israel, and you're bringing awareness to that, man, and I appreciate and respect it.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I mean?
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, yeah, and what you guys are speaking on is very real. You know, a lot of people are so plugged in that they can't unplug and look at the world for what it really is, and our school systems and everything else that are being taught to our kids, and you know, we're turned inside out. You know what I mean? We're turned inside out. And
Yep.
I'm glad everybody's waking up, and you guys have the guts to put out a positive message and talk about real stuff, man. So respect to you guys, man.
Thanks,
Thank
Keith.
you.
Good to hear from
Thank
you,
you,
bro.
man.
Thank you, my bro.
Yes, sir. Brandon, man, glad to see you doing good, man. Hope the family and kids are well, man, and keep keep up with the positivity, man.
Thanks,
Stay blessed,
Key.
okay?
No, I'm super excited you called it. Yeah, it's dope. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna have to tap in with you somehow, man. I got some stuff going on I'd like to talk to you about, man. But glad to see you doing well.
My Instagram address is on the screen, so if I don't know if you're on the gram, but
And it's going to be on the description where he can just click on that. It'll take you to it.
yeah.
Thank you, my bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, and Tony, thank you, man, for keeping it positive, man, and giving people a platform to speak their piece, man.
Thank you, my bro. I truly appreciate you tapping in.
All right. Respect you guys. Take care.
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon, Brando.
All right, Keith.
All right. We're going to take one more phone call and we'll call it. Okay, so here we go right here. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
YG from the Valle.
What's good, my brother from the Valle?
What's happening?
Hey, you want to say funny? Hey, you should do this show more often with these fellas on there. Badass, bro.
Thank you, my brother. You know what? I got to respect. Yeah, go for it.
No, go on, bro. I didn't cut you off. One.
No, I'll say I got to respect their time. So, like, whenever I can get them back on, I will do it. So, thank you for that.
All right, real quick. I was gonna ask, hey, you think with the internet and I guess social media is into it, right? Like anxiety and like panic attacks. You think a lot of that plays into that nowadays? Because I'm in my 40s myself, but I don't ever remember hearing anything about that growing up or feeling a certain way like that. It's like it wasn't until now like you start hearing a lot more about that.
About what? About what exactly? I missed the first part. I'm sorry.
Like anxiety, like people having anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
like,
touched upon this the last episode too. Yep. Yeah, man, I think it's those GMOs, whatever they're putting in our food. Because now all these things are coming, they're just everywhere now.
Yeah.
ADHD, anxiety attacks, all these things. And again, it's a pill for every ill. So if they're tainting our food supply, they're making money that way. And then the pharmaceutical industry is now feeding pills to everybody to control whatever situation that food has caused for that individual.
And let's be honest, Kamala Harris or whatever, she's fucking guilty of admitting that if we reduce the population, then our kids will be able to breathe fresh air.
Yeah, that's all part of
Well, we
population
should start with her
control.
kids then.
Yeah, let's start with her kids, bro.
Yeah.
And Marvelous brought up on a recent podcast about alkaline food and all that, and I'm 100% on board with them. We got to eat nutrient-dense food that's alkaline.
Yeah.
Because bad things can't happen if your body's swimming in alkaline. When it's in an acidic state is when things go bad.
Don't you trip out nowadays, like when you see like these kids, bro? Like you see a lot of kids. I mean, like, bro, they have ADHD. They have a lot of issues with them, bro. And it's crazy because it's just everywhere. And it's just like, damn, dude, like what the hell is going on? Like, is it the food? Is it the shot that they're giving?
I think it's the food or the vaccines or both.
Yeah.
There you go, the vaccines. There you go. It's crazy, bro. Like you trip out, and it's just like real common, like crazy common. It's like, damn, like.
Right.
I don't know. I just trip out on all that. But
I do too.
Okay.
I just want to step in with you guys, but yeah, you guys keep it up, man. It's a badass show, and hopefully you guys are more often. Man, you guys have a good night.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you,
have
my
a
bro.
good night,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Have a good one.
Okay, let me go ahead and log out of here, and then we should be good. Now the phone calls want to come in, but I'm like, we're good. We got to stay on time. Okay. ¿Qué pasó, Marvelous? You sweating over there?
Here, bro.
It is.
No
It
air.
is. It is, bro.
Oh, because you have to kick off the,
All right, we can take these off. Other than that, you know what? Anything you guys care to add? Did you guys enjoy yourselves, bro?
I did.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's good
It was
bouncing
nice
back.
meeting you, bro.
Nice meeting you too, Marvelous, and bouncing back on information. And he challenged me to think about some new things, like people on the other side of the ice wall, and me being able to confirm the 3 pyramids being aligned with Orion's belt.
Absolutely.
And I love that, and I love it. Like
that's how we learn, bro.
Yeah,
That's how
we're just sharing information. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Alex, was there anything you wanted to share? Well, you looked at me like if you were in a panic.
Alex has been quiet this
The
evening.
commercials on your phone.
Yeah, don't be giving the lazy eye over here.
Okay.
I turned off the Bluetooth.
Okay. Anything on the super chat or live chat or whatever? Okay.
Okay, we got a few. We got a few up here. Isis Chavez dropped $5. They said, "Can you guys talk about Marshall Island and how radioactive substances are now escaping the island into the sea? Much love from Vernon, California."
Marshall Island?
I've never heard of
I'm
that,
not familiar with Marshall Island.
Marvelous, anything?
Neither am I, bro.
You know what? I'd like to apologize, but I'll tell you what. I'll have all of us look into Marshall Island.
Let me put it in my notes.
Into it, and the next time we get together, if we can make it happen, we'll cover Marshall Island.
And just so that person knows, like, people have suggested stuff like the Signs movie, Leviathan, American Holocaust, like all these things that these people are. I'm following up with it, so I'm definitely going to follow up with Marshall Island.
All good.
Okay, Shy Girl dropped $5. She said, "Appreciate your time on educating us, fellas. Love this."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enrique Ledesma, he's been a member for 13 months now. It says, Rhodium Radio #1. Shout out Esco Viejo, both sides. Strength through unity. God and his only begotten Son is the true path to salvation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Enrique Ledesma.
Put up, run up, or can it? R.I.P. Toker, a.k.a. Beaver, R.I.P. Smokey.
All good. Thank you for that.
Enrique Ledesma dropped another, he dropped $4.99. He said, "In the words of Essa Toker, put up, run up, or shut the fuck up." On a separate note, enlighten us on the kingdom of Tartaria.
Oh.
Tartaria.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Escondido, both sides.
Now, next time, I don't know what that is. You can help educate us or me.
It's where the Great Wall of China is located. It's actually the Great Wall of Tartaria.
Okay. Thank you for that. Go ahead.
Okay, Enrique Ledesma dropped $4.99. He said, "There's a reason why there's a reason why it's a theory and not a law of physics. The math isn't mathing."
For gravity?
Yeah, I believe that's
All good. Thank you for that.
And then Fernando Chico 1 dropped $4.99. He said, "Steph Tone from Dr. Green Thumb show is a flat earther. It'll be cool to have him with Marv and talk about the flat earth."
I do want to say this. I met him on several occasions because I've been on Dr. Green Thumb like 4 times. And I want to say that I've been trying to get him on. So, yeah, the next time, well, hopefully all 4 of us can get on. He's a very famous, he belongs to a very famous band.
Okay.
And he's a flat earther. And he said it on the show before.
Okay.
Okay, so I would love to get him on. Is that it? Okay. Go ahead and put the camera on Brando. Brando, is there anything you want to say before you give a shout-outs?
I just enjoyed having this conversation and having a third person here and be able to bounce the synergy between us. And like I mentioned, like he challenged me to look into a few things or a couple of things, and I think that's great. I love it. That's what keeps me on my toes.
Go ahead and give your shout outs and we're out of here.
I want to shout out my cousin Eric, Abe Boogie, Mike, JT, Mariana, Fade and Full Barbershop. Love you guys. My mom, my kids, and my wife. And that's what's up.
There you go. Put the camera on Marvelous.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I appreciate you guys always. It was a pleasure meeting you, homie.
Likewise.
And thank you, Tony, always welcoming me here. Alex, thank you, homie, for everything that you do. And just the audience, thank you. And my kids, I love you guys.
All good. I do want to say something because there was a podcaster that said something recently about me. And I didn't take offense to it. I really didn't. I don't have nothing against this person. This person said, farewell, have a nice life. So I want to say thank you for that. I don't have nothing against you, but I do want to say this, that when me and Marvelous first teamed up, a lot of people were messaging me saying, oh, this is going to end really, really bad. And I remember I shared that with you. And we're still friends even after 2 years of him being on the show. So I don't understand how somebody could be upset about our friendship. That so much that you harbored all that in, that you had to wait to get drunk to let it all out and say, have a nice life. You are marvelous. Do this. First and foremost, I don't have nothing against you, bro. Second, Me and Marvelous has been friends. I can call him a friend. I trust him. And you know what? I just don't understand how somebody could be jealous of our friendship.
Of friendship.
Yeah. So, you know what? It's a good thing when you find a friend.
Well, there's a lot of jealousy with Russians. You know, they try to take over the Ukraine, and
yeah,
that happens in our life, bro. So.
Well, exactly. Especially, yeah. But I do want to say that I want to, once again, before I give my shout outs, Anthony Duran, happy birthday. Much love and respect. You've been a day one. Thank you for supporting Rodium Radio. Thank you for supporting my platform. And nothing but love and respect for you and your family. Other than that, everybody who called in, much love and respect. Everybody who gave tonight, much love and respect. Everybody who subscribed, everybody who was on the live chat, everybody who decided not to be on the live chat, much love and respect to every single one of you guys. Thank you for supporting this channel. Again, I'm going to say this respectfully because I don't know if I'm going to stay on. I'm considering leaving next month and just kind of calling it a wrap. I as of right now, Brando and Marvelous, I'm like between 80 and 90% sure that I'm going to leave and stop podcasting. But, and that's the last time I'm going to say it. Okay. But like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I may feel this way tonight. It may not feel this way next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to, but as of right now, that's what I'm leaning towards. So, I just want to thank everybody, man. You know, everybody who supported this show, who has supported me, who has stuck by me through thick and thin when people came against me. I just want to show you nothing but love and respect. So other than that, once again, Brando, thank you. Marvelous, thank you. Alex Cervantes Enterprise, the hip hop Jedi, my son B Scanless. Once again, Marvelous, my co-host, and Forever Genesis, our moderator. Thank you. Love you guys. See you guys soon. And we'll be back with Rodium Radio and Freaky Tales this week. So have a blessed night.
Damn, son, where'd you...
Biatch. Biatch.
I could go on forever, baby.